I am going to make IPFS not completely fucking boring because I read through it and it was completely fucking boring. I read through article after article after article and I said, well, no wonder no one wants to research this shit because it's like friggin' trying to pull a stick out of mud. It's just as slow, it's depressing. Yeah, it's like you're falling in quicksand and you just can't get out and it's just a shitty, boring quicksand. So I'm trying to make it fun, okay? So, IPFS, the definition of interplanetary file systems is excuse me if you wouldn't mind for a moment, a distributed system for storing and accessing files, websites, applications, and or data. That being said, basically just a decentralized internet. Distributed, that is a keyword. We'll come back to that. Now, first I want to start with the internet as we know and love it today. Web 2, how we go about websites. Bang. It's centralized internet, okay? It is controlled by a single authority or person. So just like you can go and get a GoDaddy website, you own the IP and the domain to that. Wikipedia has their own IP and their own servers, and we have server farms. That's where everything is based off of. And the biggest problem with those server farms is it is single point of failure. One of those goes down, our internet's effed, right? The thing is with IPFS, it's completely different. So we'll get into that in a minute. We'll get to that second part. But when it comes down to Wikipedia, you think about it like that. They own the page, and our Web 2 centralized internet is location based searching or addressing. Location based addressing is the correct term for it. And basically, you type in www.youtube.com. Bang, there's YouTube. It's the one location, but there's all these different things within there. YouTube owns all of that, or there's a channel. Everybody within those channels owns all of that. Or if you go to www.talkingtheline.com, my previous platform, my previous brand and company, you would see that's owned by me. I own that domain. I own the IP. Everything owned by me is on that platform. Okay. Now flip the script. Other side of the coin, if you will, with IPFS and the decentralized internet. Now, I want you to think about IoT and the Internet of Things and the way everything has been going for the last better part of 5, 7, 10 years at this point with interconnectability. And how many times have you been sitting here and done this shit and, oh my gosh, said some shit and scrolled up and all of a sudden it was a fucking ad for it on your Twitter? There's a reason for that. It's called the Internet of Things. Everything's interconnected. And I firmly believe that this Internet of Things is going to roll out more, bigger, better possibilities of shit that we never even imagined when it comes to IPFS and having a decentralized platform. So, unlike one entity or one person having ownership to this platform, right, or to this website or server, everybody has a share of the ownership with a decentralized platform. Think about it on the ETH blockchain. Everything has a hash. Everything has something that leads to it, and then within that has another hash that leads with it. There's a trail of everything. Everything has a hash, and everyone owns some portion of that. So the way to get that technology out and to start flexing that technology, enter NFT collections. Much like all this decentralized stuff I'm talking about, the NFT collection has its own hash. It has its own IPFS. That IPFS reads, has its own hash, IPFS. Oh, yeah, bang, boom. Well, other people have access to that as well. So there's no one main server that just can shut the whole doggone thing down. And then within the NFTs, within the collection, they have their own hashes. And everything is traceable, is the big thing. And if it's not entirely making sense, don't worry, because it's not the easiest thing to understand. Essentially, it's the digits and the data and the shit that doesn't exist fucking out there that we don't care about, but allows us to move about on Web3 and NFTs and the technology that I firmly believe in my heart of hearts that is going to be mass adopted and shit that we are going to utilize on a day-to-day, day in and day out basis. Now, cool things about this is like there's ease of transferability. There's I'll talk about it a little bit more in word on the chain, some things that companies are doing right now in a bear market, mind you, in a bear market that just shows the power of IPFS and the power of Web3 and blockchain technologies.